Hi there. In this next webcast, we will take a look at the different options for modifying splash pages. Let's begin by selecting a location under Manage, Locations menu, and click on the name. Then click on Modify Hotspot Data and Settings. The first option is Modify Hotspot Information. Here, you can edit the location's information, like name, address, customer service information. Splash page settings is where you can modify certain parts of your splash page. You can modify the layout by choosing a pre-built skin, or you can use your custom skin if you have created one. You can always preview the different skin options. You can also set the default language and the list of languages which you want to be available for your users. So let's try this out. I modified the generic look by selecting the hotel skin. Choose English as the default language, and select some other languages. Press Submit. By viewing the Hotspot front page, you can see that the settings have been changed immediately. So let's go back to Modify Hotspot Data. If you are using a pay-per-use hotspot, there are several options related to payments. When users buy access online, they can pay by credit card directly using the primary payment module, or they can pay by PayPal. Based on the location's currency, it is possible that not all of these methods will be available. If you turn off both, new customers will not be able to buy access online. You can also turn on SMS authentication for online payments. With this option turned on, customers will have to enter their mobile number first, where they get an authentication code, which they have to use to confirm their identity on the splash page. They can only continue the payment process if the access code is valid. You can also hide the voucher activation module, and you can set the order in which the modules appear on the splash page. If you sell vouchers primarily, you should move the voucher module to the first place. You can also turn on the SMS authentication for vouchers, just like with the online payment methods. You can also restrict the country where the customers can receive the access code, so you can restrict access to your hotspot to a specific country in this way. If you are using Hotspot free with SMS, there is a special module named Send Voucher Code to Phone via SMS. With this option, your users can request a free access code by entering their mobile number. Once they get the code, they can use it to log into the hotspot. You can also restrict the user from getting a new code to the same number within the hours you specify. You can use this option in a pay-per-use hotspot environment to give a free trial for your users. To set this up, you need to change the package type of the location from Hotspot Pro to a combined Hotspot Pro and Free setup. The internal login/logout URL can be different based on the device you are using, so you can set them here if necessary. 3 settings remain in this section. First, you can set a URL where you redirect your users after they successfully logged into the hotspot. You can have a Remember Me box displayed on the splash page, but you should turn this off if you are using public computers. Display login box on main splash page means that the package selection page and any other modules will be on the same page as the login form. If you change this, you may need to set up your router once again. The third section is Upload Custom Logos, which provides an easy way to change logos or upload other graphics quickly, like a daily menu in a restaurant. More details of this will be available in another webcast. In the next section, you can set different limits for the location. You can disable roaming, which means users from another location of yours will not be able to log in at this location. You can change bandwidth and traffic limits. This will only change those packages which are using the location's default limits. You can also restrict users from logging in from a different computer or device for a specified number of hours after they log out. This option is for preventing sharing of access. You can also disable counting of simultaneous minutes for a device, which is recommended if there are multiple access points close to each other, each is running the hotspot module, and you are using packages where users can pause time and reuse it later. The next section is where you can customize the data which you want to gather about your users. Users who buy a package online are required to register and enter some mandatory information. Users with vouchers are not required to enter any data, but you can force them to register, which means they also have to choose a username and a password, which they can use to log into the hotspot instead of the voucher code. You can select additional fields for online packages or vouchers separately, and you can also add custom fields, like room number for example, to collect additional information from your users. So let's see how this changed the splash page. Go back to Location Details and view Hotspot front page. If I choose an online package, which is a hotspot access for 1 hour, a registration form appears with the newly created custom field. The last setting is for walled garden setups, where you want to redirect your users to your own self-hosted splash page instead of our default splash page. If you do this, you have to link back to the normal splash page because users can only buy packages or use vouchers on our page. So here you can find the link which you are required to put on your walled garden page. We will show you how to change logos or insert HTML code into templates using the skin editor in the next webcast, so stay tuned.